Hello, Amos. How you doing?
Hello. There we go. Okay. We are live.
Well, hello, everyone. Eileen is logging back in right now, but
There she is.
we are ready to have some fun.
And Eileen, we are live.
We are. Hello,
Yes.
live people.
Hello, livers.
That was
Live and alive.
that was the roughest handoff I've had in a long time.
Whoa. Okay. Were you? Oh, you were just waiting for them to end.
No, I was producing that show as well.
I see.
Yeah, Amos is covering for Joe on DTNS. It's a crazy week. Like
Yeah.
I'm covering for Rob later at the week. We're all just doing stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Got
So let's I'm going to go ahead and take down the overlay so we can say hi and people can see our faces,
Okay.
which will also allow me to set the screens up right.
Let me.
Visionaries.
All right.
Hello, visionaries.
Beautiful.
Visionaries.
people.
Visionaries. I don't know. I don't
I
know
know,
that we've
it's
come
one
to
of
a
the two.
consensus. I feel like both are fine.
Okay.
You know?
It's what you feel like.
What
two
to
names.
identify with. A visionary or a visionaire. All good. All good. Yeah.
All right. Willie Scott, could you reset
Nick with a
Showbot,
C.
please?
I'm a liver. Looks like liver, but you know, same, same.
I'm a
Yeah.
liver.
If you have a liver, hopefully you're alive. Yeah. Hola.
This looks gross, but it's like a real. It's
Oh my
a
gosh,
smoothie,
I've got
guys.
something gross too.
What?
Well, I made a smoothie this morning, but I had had so much coffee that, like, you know, there's only so much liquid I can drink
Yeah.
before I'm like,
yeah.
ugh, there's too much liquid. So I've been nursing
Wait, is
this
that the
for like
new-
4 hours.
You have the NutriBullet?
Yeah. No,
Oh my God, we have
the
the-
ninja.
Oh,
It's the
Ninja Bullet. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I have. Oh my
I think
gosh.
it's, yeah, same. Oh, it's the best
Oh,
thing. It's the best.
It's so easy.
Should I go through some fruit in my Ninja Bullet? And
I mean, Amos,
minute.
you're kind of, you know, lagging a little bit. So
I know. Sorry, I was busy. Ah.
yeah. Yeah. Were you working? Because Eileen and I were making smoothies.
We were making smoothies.
Well,
Yeah, no,
continue to
I
make
put
me one.
green
I see how it
powder in
is.
this. This is green powder with
It's-
all my like fruits and stuff. I just
Yeah.
have
Only
like this
green?
green powder. Yeah, that I didn't have any real greens, but I had the powder and I just threw that in there for an extra fiber boost.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah.
Good.
The great thing about smoothies is as long as it's like the taste is balanced, you can put a lot of things in there and be like, this is
yeah.
good.
Oh yeah.
You know, it doesn't
just
have to be
throw-
like ice cream or, you know, I don't
Right.
even put sugar in any of my fruit stuff. This is all
Yeah.
fruit, but like there's
Yeah.
no like sweetener. It's just
think-
like banana, blueberry, yogurt, almond butter. That's it.
Mine is the only thing I put was honey. I just threw in some honey in there.
A little honey. Yeah, a little honey works.
But you know what I like to do with like vegetable drinks? I like to throw in cayenne pepper. Gives it a little like boost. Like a little bam. I learned that
I'm a
when I worked
cayenne
at
fan.
Google. It's just a little bit. And when you
Yeah.
stir it in,
It just
and then
adds
you,
a
like, have
tiny
little-
bit of heat,
yeah,
which is nice. Yeah. No,
Don't
I'm with
put it
you
in
on
the
that.
fruit drinks, but the vegetable ones when I have
I mean,
like kale. Or
I feel
something,
like
I throw it
it's
in there.
not unlike if I make like a veggie stir fry. It's like I need to have some heat, like chili
Yeah.
flakes or
Yeah.
cayenne
little
or
boom.
something, you know, something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes sense.
A little boost.
Just a little boost, boost, boost. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Okay,
Quick.
yeah.
Talking about smoothies.
I'm like, this is all I got left for the show. I hope I don't need water. Oh, something. Oh, you know what? Something's being delivered. Can you hang on for a second? Because I'm by myself. Hold on, please.
Yep. Well, hello, Apple Vision Show viewers, visionaries, whichever you are. It's the one person left to host the show to vamp time is not one of the hosts of the show. So we do have a lot of good stuff for you today, though. I'm going through and opening the show notes now and looking at the stuff, and looks to be another lovely conversation. So, and now I can relinquish the.
That was coffee for Tom. Like, why did they ring? Usually when they ring the doorbell, it's like, it's a package that either I need to sign for, or, it's literally like coffee. Like, they could just leave it in the front step. If someone steals it, I don't think Tom will be like hurt, but I was like, okay, I made the effort. It's fine. I guess it's a good alert. You have something at the front. But anyway, hi everybody. Thank you for talking there, Amos. Did you see? I have in the by the way, in the mail comments, like this was my work of art here. I don't know. Hopefully you could show it. Like, I don't know if you want to just download it and then show it.
I'm trying to figure it out now. Yeah.
Or I could just send you the file. It's just hilarious. Because I made a joke on social media about it. Nobody said anything. That's why I'm like, oh, wow, I guess it doesn't look anything like the... I think it did, but it's okay.
Yeah, if you want to drop the file in Discord, that'd be a little bit easier.
Okay, let me see if I can... No, now, of course, I can't find it. Let me see if I can... Oh, wait, is this it? Oh, no. Is this it?
Okay. Sorry.
Oh no, don't worry. I went to go get a package. Our doorbell rang and I was like,
really?
Wait, it's just coffee? Like, you could just leave that thing there without ringing the doorbell, but whatever. It's all good.
You know what I'm trying to get new curtains for my bedroom windows, which is the whole thing. Story for another time. But Amazon now, when I, depending on the seller, they're like, would you like it delivered between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m.? I'm like, yeah. I mean, does someone want to work overnight? They're probably doing that shift already. So that sounds great. But yeah, both
4
times.
4 a.m. to 8 a.m.
Yeah. Which is funny because on Saturday I ordered some curtains, which I have to return. And Amazon was like, would you like them delivered for free between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m. or just later on Sunday? And I was like, well, earlier is better. But like, I almost feel like guilty, But I don't know. People work at all times. So.
All right. We ready to rock this?
Did you send me
think
the file?
so.
I did. I put it in Discord.
No, Ralphie.
It's just a silly thing, Sarah, that I did with AI.
Ralphie, please.
I thought it looked very similar to, the actual logo. Nobody said anything, so I guess I'm wrong.
Ralphie wants to say hi really quick.
Hi, oh, look at those eyes.
Yeah.
Ralphie
He's been very like, I want to be a star lately.
Wait,
he usually sleeps
when I
through
was
all
over
my
there.
afternoon stuff, and lately he's been like, hello, I'd like to be on the stream.
Like, we didn't see him when we were over last week. Was he somewhere like hidden when we came over?
Oh, probably. He has his, we call it the Death Star, his little like circular kitty condo. Sometimes he just like hangs out in there for like 5 to 6 hours. Where I'm like, where's my cat? Oh, he's in the Death Star. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good times. Good times.
Good times indeed.
All right. My ugly smoothie. My sleeping dog back there. All right, I'm ready. Whenever you guys.
I'm ready. The garbage trucks, I think, are done for the day, but they've been real loud. So.
Oh, you want to wait a little bit before that?
No. I think we're good. Just if you hear anything, the garbage people are doing their their thing.
Okay.
I hear it, but it's like it's not like intruding, you know.
Yeah, I think because like garbage, recycling,
Yeah.
and then the green bins. What am I not thinking of?
Compost.
Compost. All different trucks.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah. That's us tomorrow. Wait, no, Wednesday. We have to take it out Tuesday for Wednesday. Good times.
Yeah, yeah. We are first thing Monday morning. It is a
Woo!
wild
I love that
morning around these
Sunday.
parts. Yeah.
If you don't forget on if you forget on Sunday, you're like, ah.
I mean, luckily my neighbor does it, but
Oh, okay. Nice.
it's technically
That's
all
nice.
of our jobs. I'm just sort of like, oh, you got there first. Thanks again. After 5 years of doing it myself, I'm happy to have help. All right.
Ready for count-in.
Okay. Let's do this in 3, 2. Well, hello, Apple Vision showers, as we like to call them, visionaires or visioneers, whatever your choices. We welcome you.
Visionaries. Some people like
Visionaries, yeah.
Yeah.
Visioneer,
Yeah.
visionary, visionaries, all good.
We
Pick,
welcome
pick
them
your
all.
poison. Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Lane,
And I'm Eileen Rivera.
and we are the hosts of Apple Vision Show, the show that talks about all things Apple and how it relates to your life, your lifestyle, tips and tricks, productivity, news, reviews, and more.
Fun stuff too, right? Like music and TV and whatever, robots, whatever you like related to Apple.
Sometimes robots. Yeah, exactly.
I've been reviewing, whenever I do research for our show, I tend to go on YouTube and I like to see what other sort of YouTube discussions are. And I'm like, we hit all of these topics. One recent video, I can't remember, sorry, the channel, but totally talked about robots, then the Ring, then flip phones for Apple. I was like, what? Already been there, done that. But so anyway, I'm very proud. I'm very proud. Not to
Well,
brag,
I'm
but I
glad.
was very proud.
I'm glad that you're proud. I'm also proud. Eileen and I also before our show started, Eileen was like, "Sorry, I'm like drinking like this weird green juice in my bullet smoothie cup," and I'm like, "I am too." Different ingredients, but hey, you got to get your vitamins somehow.
Somehow, yeah. This was actually my lunch today, Sarah. Like
Mine too.
had a-
Mine too.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I have not eaten solid food today.
Oh, see, I had like a cheese toast with egg and tomatoes for
that
this
sounds
morning,
good.
and I had it late. Like to me, late is like 10, right? I didn't eat until 10. So then by noon, when I usually eat, I'm like, I'm not really hungry, but I need something because I can't really stop at 2:00. We have a show, right? So I'm like, let's try the smoothie and then throw in, my little green vegetable powder along with, I think what I have in here is like frozen peaches, let's see, mangoes, apples, the fruits, and a little bit of almond milk and
Yep.
ice with honey.
In mine, because I know you were all wondering, banana, ripple milk, which is sort of a protein heavy milk alternative, some blueberries, some raspberries, some boysenberries, a little bit of yogurt, a little bit of almond butter, and that's it.
Oh, okay. Sometimes I put
But
Greek
because
yogurt.
it's like, even though it's like this is a meal, but it
Yeah.
presents as liquid. After I have like my 3 cups of coffee and then have a smoothie afterwards, I'm like, I'm full. I'm so
You're
full
so
of liquid.
full. Yeah.
Which is great. I mean, I need to eat solid food at some point today, but I'm like, I'm really full.
Oh, I did have a granola bar with it. Actually, I decided I was like, well, let me have a little bit of solid, but I mean, it's a granola bar. It's like a chocolate chip granola bar. How healthy is that?
I don't
You know?
I mean, you know.
I usually have granola for breakfast, but I didn't this morning. I was like, I need something more savory. And we have new toast. I'm like, let's just bring it on with the eggs. And I had some fresh green onions, and I just wanted to kind of like make something savory, and
Oh,
and
yeah.
fresh tomatoes too. So I was like, well, let's bring this on.
No, I
And that
hear
was
you.
really good.
I'm usually a, egg and whatever else is in the fridge
Mhm.
morning person.
Yeah.
But I bought all these bananas, and what am I going to do
Oh
with
yeah.
them if I don't make smoothies? So I'm like, I'm on a smoothie kick
Banana
now.
bread coming up.
Banana
I
bread
don't.
coming up. As soon as that banana gets too ripe for the smoothie, it's going right into the baking pan.
Does Otis eat bananas?
Uh, I don't know. I don't think
Sawyer does not.
I don't think I've ever given him the opportunity.
Oh.
He will, he doesn't really eat people food.
Oh wow. Okay.
He will, I mean, he will be interested, especially if you're eating something that is like chicken based or, is aromatic. He'll be like, let me get
What's
close to you.
that? Yeah.
But, I definitely try to keep him from begging. So he also is sensitive. He kind of
okay,
just
okay.
has to eat the same thing every
I
day,
see.
or else things get a little bit weird
Okay.
in other neighbors' yards. And
Yeah.
that's all I'll say about that. You can use your imagination.
Oh no. No, I tried giving Sawyer, and I just discovered this recently, and I don't think that he would have been like this in his early years, but now later in life, I was like, here's I give, he loves apples. He loves lots of different foods, but I gave him a banana. I was like, I can't finish this. Can you help me? And he looked at it and he was like, girl, please. No. Oh, it's like, what? You don't want a banana? Like
Well,
bananas are
yeah.
in his biscuit treats, right? There's apple, banana, whatever treat. But no.
Pumpkin. Yeah, there's all
Yeah.
sorts of stuff that, is not only like yummy, but like good for dogs.
Yeah, no, Sawyer looked at me as if I never knew who he was. I was like, I you were a 15-year-old dog. How in the world did I not know that you didn't like bananas? I think this is new. But he really looked at me as if I was crazy. Like, you don't know me. Okay. I don't know him.
Oh,
New life.
what a teen. What a teen.
Yes.
Well, so Eileen and I decided that we're going to dedicate the show, this episode, which is episode 13 of Apple Vision Show, to the iPad. We're going to talk about some other things later in the show. So if you're like, I don't have an iPad or I don't care, worry not. We have you covered. But because in just over a week from this recording, unless something totally insane happens, we will get new iPad announcements. Apple has an event planned for May 7th, which is next Tuesday. And because of that, Eileen, we decided to record this show a little bit later than usual because we want to be fresh, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So we are going to go live and we're going to record the show on Tuesday evening. And we're actually, if you're watching this and you watch the DTNS stream, we will be after Android Faithful at around 6:30 on Tuesday next week. So just a day delay, but we want to make sure that we don't want to be late to these amazing announcements that, will be on Tuesday morning, early Tuesday morning, Sarah, at like 7 a.m. Pacific
7
time.
a.m. Eastern time. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 7 a.m. Pacific time. 7 a.m. Eastern time would be totally crazy. But yes, 7 a.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. Eastern. That's a little unusual in and of itself. It's usually 10 a.m. Pacific. And there's obviously a reason that Apple wants to get this out of the gate on Tuesday. I'm all for it. I'm up at 7
Yeah.
most days, certainly most weekdays. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, just a reminder that for anybody who likes to be part of our live stream, and also just expect the show, end of day Monday. We will shift it slightly one day into the future, because we just want to talk about the event instead of like pontificating, where you might even hear our show after the event and then it sounds like we weren't there. It just makes more sense for us. So That said, mark your calendars, and thanks for being flexible with us. But I think this show, Eileen, we should start with predictions for
Yeah.
what we think will, be announced at the event next week, and also what we want from the announcement.
Yeah.
You are a daily iPad user. I am not. So I think
Yeah.
we might have different ideas here.
Yeah, I mean, I just got an iPad last summer. I got the 11-inch Pro, not the big 12 inch.
Yeah.
So I've been using it as I started just to kind of like understand. I was really interested in having an iPad, mostly because, well, I'm not traveling a lot right now, but when I move and travel, it like, I mean, my laptop is not that heavy, but the iPad is considerably light. And I actually traveled with only my iPad and my iPhone to Korea for 2+ weeks. And it was great. Got what I needed because this was a vacation too. I guess it would be different if it was a work vacation, but this was a vacation. And so I didn't need my laptop, and it always is just so extra heavy, when I'm moving around. So this was really a godsend to have. But essentially what I love on the day-to-day basis, I mean, I do what I think a lot of people do with it, which is either productivity. Some people play games, people watch a lot of video on it, right? For the purpose of like my world, I also, in the productivity space, I like to just, I love the pencil. I've been, kind of using it to write more. Believe it or not, I like think about writing. I've never written so much in my life since I've had this iPad. And what I hope to get out of this, one, I don't think I'm going to upgrade, Sarah. I think I'm okay. Unless something happens in this announcement that is like earth shattering.
Super mind blowing. Yeah.
Exactly.
That hasn't been a leak as of, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe I shouldn't go into how much and what I use. I think we'll save that, for a little bit later. But in terms of like predictions for the iPad, there's all kinds of predictions that I had heard, like an M4 chip. People are talking about
M4 chip. I mean, that's a prediction that came from Mark Gurman, Bloomberg, who he has the inside track. I don't know what soul he sold to get it, but I mean, he has a very, very good track record. The M4 chip is interesting because in the iPad announcement next week, if the company does announce M4 chip iPads, and I believe that would be the iPad Pro, but who even knows? But in general, that would be the first hardware product line that would potentially be able to take advantage of Apple's new AI functionality. Now, we don't really know what that is. There are rumors that Apple is working with perhaps Google, perhaps OpenAI. There have been rumors of both. We don't really know. What we do know is that Apple is expected to have an AI assistant that, vastly is superior to the current Siri on device, meaning that there will be, hardware products that can process a lot of the stuff without sending it to the cloud and back. You might not care. A lot of people do, though. A lot of people do care about, not only does on-device mean that you get quicker results, but also that you have more privacy. And Apple is very privacy focused. So, I think next week's announcement, I mean, honestly, Apple could just be like, here's some new Pro and iPad Air models. Bye. Thanks. See you in June for WWDC. But I think we might get a little bit more information about what an M4 chip, because a lot of people are like, I mean, what
Who cares,
does it mean?
right?
Faster,
Yeah, what is it?
better battery life. Both of those things are true. But more of if you have an AI component that Apple can can lay out as like, this is the iPad that you need. This is,
Yeah.
your assistant, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then I think that will lay the groundwork for what might be announced at WWDC, which would be iOS 18 focused, which is sort of like, here's what's going to be in your next iPhone that we'll announce in September. Apple is, they've got a timeline, as all companies do. So yeah, it's a little weird this year, a little weird, but I'm down for it.
It feels a little fragmented. Like we're gonna go give you like a special pre quote unquote preview with the iPad, and then WWDC, and then the iPhone, later in the year. But I don't know. I'm like, you know what? I am afraid that I'm going to hear this announcement and go, oh my God, I should upgrade. I'm a little afraid of that. Because I don't want to spend the money, but I'm wondering how this like AI assistant, situation could really, and will I be able to partake with my current iPad? Then great. Then I'm in. But I feel like there's going to be, I'm not so concerned about like the OLED screen. Like I'm very happy with what I have right now. And, in terms of like the accessories, everybody's talking about haptic touch with the pencil. I'm very happy with my pencil. Maybe I don't know that I need it, but I don't feel like, oh my God, I have to have haptic until I try it. And then I never got the Magic Keyboard. So I'm actually hoping with the new upgraded models that the old Magic Keyboards go on sale, because I'd like to get one of those finally. They won't go on super sale, but because I've been looking at third-party versions and I'm not quite sure they're going to be as good. So I don't know. I'm just a little bit like, I'm very happy right now. But then watch me next week go, oh my God, I think I should upgrade. What do I do?
Well, we'll I'm not much of a, in fact, I'm a person who, if you come over and say, hey, Sarah, do you have a pen? I have to jot something down. I'm like, I probably have a pen in my house somewhere. Right. Like pen, pad, and paper. I love being, no dead trees, even though, that you can't always escape that. But because of that, I love the Apple Pencil and all pencils. The Remarkable 2, which I reviewed on a Live With It segment 2 years ago. Gosh, maybe 3. I mean, time is a flat circle. But I was like, wow, I don't really write a lot, but to write on a tablet that's, has they didn't call it the pencil, they called it something else. The Remarkable Pen, I think, but like, depending on like, if you chose pencil or, calligraphy ink or ballpoint, it all felt different. And it's like, at the time I was like, well, I mean, sort of a flex, like, does it really matter? But kind of for people who really like the, the old school way of having like a yellow a pad of paper and a nice pen and write down your thoughts. I think that could be kind of cool. I also, I think it was Mac Rumors who said, all right, so let's take this a step further. Maybe you have a haptic feedback Apple Pencil that could be, I don't know, give you more customization if you're working in Photoshop for iPad, for example. Like, are you jotting something down on, a piece of linen versus, a photograph kind of thing. But also, if that pencil could be part of the Vision Pro, Vision OS going forward, that gets interesting. Myself included, a lot of people will dock the Pro for, you can have like a keyboard where you're typing in the sky. It mostly works, but is kind of hit and miss. Like, it might be nice to, if you, and I'm using my left hand because I'm a southpaw, but if you like to jot down things, that could make the Vision Pro make a lot more sense
Yeah,
on
you
the
could be really
go.
precise with it too. Because with your
Yeah.
hands, you're kind of clumsy a little bit, but with the pencil
Well, and
or pen or
everybody
whatever they're
hates a
going to call it.
virtual keyboard. Like we've
Yeah.
all gotten used to them, but like, do you
Yeah.
really like them? No.
No.
You want a keyboard.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's a virtual keyboard on the iPad and I use it. But do I miss a keyboard? I mean, I can use my Magic Keyboard and Bluetooth it, but do I miss the actual keyboard? Yeah. I don't like typing. It's just when I have to do it really quick, fine. But I don't like that experience even on the iPad. I like the external keyboard. So, I mean, the pencil here, like I love it so much, and I've been, kind of playing with the different sort of ballpoint styles, marker, ballpoint, whatever that, I don't even have tips yet, but the hot thing is to get, pencil, Apple pencil tips. I'm like, great, I should do that. And like, I don't know, there's just so many things I think you can do. And I think creatively, I really like the iPad. I really think that the iPad is, what should I say? Like, it helps me dream up. This is going to sound so like bloody, but it really
It's
helps
fine.
me unlock my creativity. It really does.
Speak your truth, Eileen. No,
I
it's
love it.
great.
Even if it's just writing, a little bit of drawing, like I do that more with my iPad than I ever did with a notepad or anything like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you're onto something there. I will say that I haven't used an iPad on a daily basis for some time simply because I just never got a new one. And I also, and I've said this before on the show, once the iPhone Pro Max became as
Yes.
big as it is, which it's rumored to get even bigger, so that's a conversation for later in the show. But I was like, yeah, but a laptop and this, I don't know. That's why I've always said like the iPad Mini makes no sense to me. I know people love theirs. I am not docking you for loving your iPad Mini. It's just a form factor that I'm like, it's the Venn diagram is, it's too heavy already. I
Right.
don't need, a small iPad because I have a big iPhone. But the iPad is, it's its own thing. And I think that many creatives, because now we have Photoshop and, Premiere and, a variety of, I know I'm only talking about like photography and video apps, but so many apps that are iPad native that didn't used to be that way. And people are like, I prefer this.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's just somebody sitting at an airport. It's somebody being like, this just works better for me. I like to, touch to
Yep.
touch to zoom and scroll and, all that stuff. I'm not quite there yet. I still feel like, ooh, if I had to like edit some video on an iPad, I'd be like, I want my desktop. But, that's just being an old person.
Yeah, I'm actually, surprisingly, I thought I was going to be video editing more on my iPad, but I don't. I actually do need the visual landscape of my monitor. So I like editing on my laptop. And then if it's on the go, it's just easier and really quick on my phone because I probably captured it with my phone. Let me just get into that editing application real quick. In, out, I'm done. I don't want to wait for it to go to the cloud into iPhotos so I could use it on my iPad. It just takes a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the sizes because the other thing is, whether or not we're going to get new iPad minis, is there going to be new iPad minis on the horizon? And like the iPad mini 5th generation is 7.9. Our iPhones are what, 6? They're like 6.3. They're like, they're pretty big. So to your point, Sarah, like
I think 6.7 is the Pro Max.
I mean,
yeah,
to your point,
it is.
It's so close to a phone size. So that's why to me, I'm like, if I'm going to get an iPad, I'm going to get a bigger screen because I not as big as my laptop, but bigger so that it feels like a different device, you know? And then I
Yeah.
even heard some people speculating, well, maybe the iPad minis could be folds. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. You know, like that could be an interesting sort of I don't know, upgrade or differentiation with the iPad minis that they become foldables, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. There's just a lot of crazy theories out there. But you know, I think the ones that we kind of feel are probably going to happen is the M4 chip, the new pencil, the new probably a new keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then like you said, like the, you know, sort of or the OLED screen, and then the sort of integration of AI more seamlessly. You know, because as we talked about several weeks ago, this iPad 18, iOS 18 is going to blow your minds.
Right.
Apparently.
Yeah. Yeah. If
And
I
this has to
if I
match.
if I had to guess, I would say that next Tuesday, May 7th, when we get the iPad announcement, which by the way, Apple hasn't officially said like we're gonna, refresh our iPad line, but all the signs are there. So that's what everybody's expecting. If Apple were to say, hey, these are the first products that are going to take advantage of something cray cray. And, here's a little taste of what we're going to be announcing in full at WWDC. That would be weird. But I also think Apple is in sort of a weird spot in general as a company. You got the Vision Pro, you have a lot of people being like, this is great. A lot of other people being like, this is too expensive. And then the rest of people being like, is this dead?
Right. Yeah. I hear that
So
narrative all the time.
yeah, and none of those are untrue. It just
Mm-hmm.
all sort of depends on what's your long game? What do
Mm-hmm.
you believe Apple's long game is? And what do you want? What do you want to
Mm-hmm.
do? Because the Vision Pro can give you a it can give you an experience that you can't get on any other Apple device, but you might not want that, and that's fine. That is, again, I think, the long game going on here, but I digress. We will be talking about iPads a little bit more after the break, including what Eileen and I like most about them.
All right. W Scottus one is saying that the iPhones are 6.1 and 6.7. The iPad mini is 8.3. I'm on the site right now. I'm on apple.com and I'm looking at the iPad mini 5th generation at 7.9. Is this incorrect? Like, what am I looking at on this site? Just to, everybody's listening to our conversation here. But
Well,
I
because
mean,
the
is it the
seven,
Air? Is it the Air? Because I'm going to the Air
uh,
now. The Air is 9.7. So I
the
don't
Air is
see any
9.7, but the Mini is smaller than the Air.
right. So I'm just looking at this comparison iPad models. There's a whole comparison site on apple.com. So you can kind of choose which one is your device that you think, would work best for you. And it looks like iPad mini 5th generation, that's the latest, is 7.9. Am I looking at it
Okay,
wrong?
so I think this is sort of how you get a TV that's like 55 inches, but it's at that
Oh, with the bezel and
diagonal.
everything? I
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So same. But yeah, going back to a big iPhone versus a iPad mini, I don't know. The form factor is getting there. Even
Mhm.
though iPad OS and iOS for iPhones aren't, I mean, they're very, they work in conjunction,
Mhm.
but there are iPad OS apps that work on an iPad that don't work on iOS, and
Mhm.
vice versa.
Yeah.
Not great, but but yeah. All right, so Eileen, we promised everybody that we were going to talk about what we like about our iPads. Now,
Yeah.
full disclosure, my current iPad, which I don't even have with me right now because I don't use it every day, is probably like an iPad version 3.
You could probably look. You know where I look when I forget what version? I go to the Apple Store because then they have on your iPhone because then they have all
Yeah.
your devices, and that
Yeah.
because I forgot for the longest time what my watch was, but
Yeah.
that's okay. You don't have to. You don't have to. But wait, do you actually have it? You don't have to bust it out.
Oh, I have it
Oh,
somewhere in my
okay.
home. I'm not being cheeky. I truly don't know where it is. It's probably in a
Oh,
box. And that is not to say that I don't like iPads.
yeah.
There was a time, and many of you, or some of you, may know that I used to host a show called iPad Today on the Twit Network, where I talked about iPads and the app ecosystem every week for like 6 years. So I am an iPad enthusiast through and through.
Mhm.
However, once I kind of, I don't know, I had a variety of jobs where like iPad wasn't really part of what I was talking about or doing. And I got a little behind. And then at the same time, the iPhone Pro Max got big. And, you know, I'm also an, MacBook Air person, you know, where I'm like, it's not
Mhm.
even like a big bulky thing. Between that and my phone, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
But the iPad is unique in its own way. So Eileen, let's start with you. Like, what do you love about it the most?
I love the form factor. I love that it's light. I love that, I can put it in. This actually fits in my purse, believe it or not, this 11. I have a big purse, but um I love that I know it's not like a tiny purse. You're like, why, this 11-inch iPad. I love that I can, just like any device, it talks across devices. So, everything syncs, everything, my photos, my videos, my notes, my reminders. I mean, I have everything syncing at once. I use this a lot too for FaceTime instead of my phone. Just because it's easy to prop. I have a case. So just for like lifestyle stuff, I just love that I have what feels like a computer, but in a smaller device that's lighter and I'm able to carry. That's just hardware, right? In terms
Yeah.
of the device itself, just, I started to say this earlier, but it really has jump started my creativity and thinking about, not that I storyboard, but just, thinking about creative concepts. I feel like, again, unlocking my writing has helped me. And I'm doing this a lot. I've said it multiple times for Korean classes, but now I'm using Good Notes for, planning, calendaring. And I actually, instead of using the um, typing feature, I'm using just handwritten notes. I like to see my handwritten notes and trying to get my handwriting to look better these days, to be honest with you guys. So I'm like, let me keep writing to see if I can, get my cursive handwriting looking more legible than it ever has in the last, like, I don't know, 20, 15
Oh my
years.
gosh. I mean,
Um
my freehand is
oh, it's so bad.
psychotic these days. I had to write something, and I kid you not, Eileen, like it was like I don't know even what I was doing. Like I
You're
think
like,
I was like,
no.
like writing my email down for like a
Oh
friend to
no.
whatever,
You're like
and they were like,
embarrassed.
"Did you? Is that your like? Is that how?" And I was like, "Why? Is it bad?" And they were like, "Well, kind of." And I was like, first of all, I don't care. But second
Yeah.
of all, like, it used to be pretty great. And third, probably haven't written anything in any regular capacity for going on 25 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't write
You use your computer, you
things
use
on
your phone.
paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
a lot of people that still like writing notes, just the tangibility of it, but,
Totally. Yeah.
and that makes sense. I don't use them. I've noticed that when I write things down on a notepad, I don't refer back to them, but I always have my devices. So I know I can refer back to that there, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to go scan that and put it like, why? That's just an extra step. So I feel like I'm wasting the paper, which I don't want to waste, and I'm not
Well,
even
and then
the
it's
most
like,
like
what if you have
environmentally
to
sound
share
either.
that piece of paper with somebody? You take a photo, it can be done. That's all
Yep.
fine. We do that. But like, if you just put it into notes, then you can
Right.
like collab.
Share with email. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super duper duper easy. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, those are the only another obvious thing that I like about it is watching video on it. It's just a bigger landscape than your phone. And I'll give you an example. So our bedroom, we have a television in our bedroom, but my eyesight's just not so great. And it's really pushed back against a part of the wall in our bedroom that needs to be super far away from the bed. And it's not a big TV. I don't even remember. Tom would know, but like 27. Anyway, it's
Okay. Yeah.
too small. It's too small.
Yeah.
And even with my glasses, I'm squinting. I'm like, I can't really see. So in comes the iPad. And I know I shouldn't be doing this because we've talked about my sleep patterns. I need to go to sleep. But you know what? If I'm just like, I just want to watch a little something and I don't want to turn on TV and disrupt Tom, but I really want to watch that thing, I got my iPad.
Yes.
And I could just watch it. And it's not super small on my phone where I'm also squinting, So
Yes.
I love
Yes.
it. It's perfect, actually. It's a really nice, like, expand that video. Let me see it in all its glory. I got my headphones, don't have to disturb anybody. And then, I'm up all night. That's my problem, not yours. But, I also watch it during the day as well. I also watch video.
Right. You're not just a vampire. You also are productive during daylight hours. No, I am so with you on this.
Yeah.
What I used to love when I, had an iPad, at the ready is, and still is the case, is maybe I'm watching something on the TV and I'm not necessarily like getting on a flight, even though that's a really good way to, describe, like, let's say you're getting on a flight and a lot of people are like, well, I'm not taking a flight.
I don't really.
Yeah,
travel.
but maybe you start a movie or a series or something and you gotta go across town and do some errands and go through the car wash. I don't know, whatever you're doing. The pick up on the iPad later is perfect. You can do that on an iPhone as well. But I always find that, like, unless I'm desperate, like to know like what won, Oscar's Best Picture, I don't want to watch that on my phone, even though my phone is the Pro Max, still like kind of small and definitely too small for me. Speaking of eyes going sideways, I mean, I can read, here and there on an iPhone, but like I can't read a audiobook, an Audible book or something like that, like for more than like a paragraph or two on my iPhone before I'm like, I'm out of here. On an iPad, it's totally fine. In fact,
fine.
my old iPad is bigger than my Kindle Oasis, which I love for different reasons. But the iPad is truly it's a reading companion. It's definitely a place to watch content. Productivity, whole other category, which we've touched on already. But it is the, I guess for me, I would say the laptop replacement, on the couch.
Yeah.
Because
that's
sometimes
totally
on the
what I use
couch,
it
I'm
for.
like, I don't want to hold my phone. I don't know. I don't want my phone.
Oh, interesting.
My phone goes into the purse. I'll see it in the morning. I want my big screen. And the iPad does do that.
The other thing I forgot to mention with video is that, like I said, I can't see the TV. I can see it. But a lot of you guys know I watch a lot of shows with subtitles. I cannot read those subtitles from bed. I cannot see it to save my life. And I'm like, I needed my iPad. I need my iPad so I could also read the subtitles and watch the video that I want to watch. So I watch a lot of stuff in foreign languages and I'm like, I just, uh, if I can watch it on my couch with our large TV, but if I'm trying to go to bed and I want to finish something, I've got 10 more minutes. I'm like, well, then I have to not watch. I have to give up because I can't see problems of being old.
Yeah, I know. You're like, our bedroom so big, TV not big enough.
No, it's not.
Can't see it.
There's no justification. There's no justification to upgrade that TV, to be honest with you. But even I have to say, even with the action, sometimes I'm like, is she holding a box? I don't know. I can't see that. I can't see what is she holding because it's so far away. That's a luxury for us, but that's why I love my iPad. I have it, and
Yeah.
W.S. Scott is talking about YouTube Premium subscription really comes handy on the flight. I mean, the thing about with like YouTube or Netflix or a lot of these, apps that you watch your shows on, you can download these shows, download them, keep them on your, you're not buying them, you're downloading them to watch later. It's so great. And so that's why, I mean, Amazon, so many of the, streamers do this now. They don't necessarily offer all the catalog, but a majority of it. So if you're watching something, you can just easily just watch it again, or, now you got to be careful of like how much space it takes up, but it's great.
Well,
I love it for that.
And even the iPad, I'll just keep it to iPad, even though many tablets have this similar experience, is like, it is sort of designed to load up on content. It's like, oh, you want to, download this, make sure if you don't have Wi-Fi later, you've got it on your machine. You can do all of that in a desktop experience, which a laptop is, even though it's a mobile, it's still desktop.
Yeah.
You can do that. But the iPad and I think just other mobile forward, large sized mobile devices, they've thought about that first because they were trying to get people to think outside the office, right? It's like, I'm in my office right now. This is my favorite setup. I can't always be here. So how do I maximize, what I have to do? Is it watching movies? Is it taking notes? Maybe an Apple Pencil? Is it editing video? It can be, so many things. And I think that is something that people who don't have the iPad miss out on a little bit, because they're sort of like, well, I mean, I have a laptop. Totally true. But it does lend itself to being creative in a different way, I think.
A lot of people, this may be a little niche, but a lot of people like coloring. There's coloring apps. I haven't really dug in because the one that everybody recommends is called
Like
Lake.
a meditative thing?
Yeah, like a meditative thing. And then Lake, you have to pay like, I don't know if it's a monthly or whatever. I'm like, oh, I'm not ready to. So I didn't explore all of the apps, but I've seen people like and I could see the templates that's on Lake, and it's really nice. You can just sort of draw, and it's a very like a Zen kind of experience, have some background noises and all of that stuff. I don't know. I mean, I think there's, maybe some people are like, oh, it's not really necessary, but I think some people enjoy that as a, an outlet. And so I just like that there's so many different kinds of uses that are in the sort of creative space.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to just be creative. It could definitely, you can punch your finances, if you use the, whatever. You can, obviously there's a ton of like apps that can be used, but so I know some people that are sort of managing their finance through Notion. Notion's a good app. It looks better
Notion is popular
on the iPad than it does on the phone. If you don't, obviously it looks best on your desktop because you can really see everything, but Notion's a great app to use that I do to sometimes just to collect, like I have recipes on there or just kind of keep track of things. So I don't know. I mean, I think the iPad, it's funny because I just keep seeing also reports like, oh, sales are down, blah, blah, blah. Well, this announcement coming up, may resuscitate, the whole situation with iPads, depending on, how much they've jump started, the device itself. And we've talked about like connectivity. I mean, how it connects to the Vision Pro, how it connects to the phone, like all the design, everything. Apple's pretty good about streamlining the experience, but I'm starting to see some fragmentation. So potentially this is bringing it all back, and
Yeah.
more holistic, right?
Well, speaking of bringing it all back, let's talk about some of Apple's incumbent apps. For example, where am I? Sorry. Okay, so let me set this up better. So iOS 18 is rumored to be making some changes to the iPhone you know and love if you have one. Mark Gurman, in his latest Power On newsletter, says there might be changes to the Photos app, the Mail app, the Notes app, the Fitness app. You might say, well, what changes need to be made? I don't know. I don't have information about that. Gurman also says the Calculator app might be improved. Something I use quite often. I don't know. Maybe we're going to go to some sort of like a trigonometry calculator. I don't know. I don't know what iOS 18 is going to do that's going to help me specifically too much. I'm pretty happy with the camera on the iPhone 15 Pro Max, which is what I have right now. Calculator app, very important. I need it here and there because math is hard. The Photos app, okay, let's see. Mail, Notes, Fitness, all good. What there is also a rumor about, though, Eileen, is how your home screen can be customized. A couple years ago, Apple said we can do widgets on your home screen along with the apps that you want on your home screen, and you can, drag and drop type thing. The rumor is that you could possibly customize your home screen that much further, not even necessarily having a grid of apps, having what you want, where you want it, and then, scroll and, Apple has you covered afterwards. I love this idea. I've always been sort of like, I have to think of what the apps are best on my home screen. Otherwise, I just search. I don't even care what's on screen for. I just search at that point. I know it's there somewhere, but I don't know where it is. But kind of nice to have your home, not even home screen. Let's think about it as home, I don't know, your home hub. But what you want your iPhone to look at when you wake it up from sleep. And I think that is Apple knowing that other competitors do that already. And it's best to let people have options rather than be too rigid.
Yeah, a lot of these potential new updates are for native iOS, right? Because right now you can customize, but you have to go and get a third-party app and then potentially pay some subscription fee because, and even so the big deal with the Calculator app is it's going to be the first time that the iPad's going to get a native one, right? You can get it like a third-party one, but we want the native app on the iPad. I like everything to work the way it's supposed to work.
Though, this is a great example of 2 plus 2. Okay. I mean, iOS.
I use the calculator.
You can run it on an iPad. I mean, what do y'all want?
I want it to work.
Different color skins.
I also want
calculator?
Instagram to give me an iPad app as well, but that's a different situation. That needs to look. I mean, honestly, the way Instagram. Let me just rant for 2 seconds. That's everything is pretty, everything is nice. It doesn't look pretty with the iPhone app. Period. It just it looks blown up. It needs to be. Please bring it soon. Anyway, apart from that, I think I've seen so many video. People are getting real creative about their iPhone screens, and to be able to do everything that you want to do natively, that's so cool. Instead of, I mean, I've downloaded a bunch of apps that I can do minimalism designs. I can do things that, sort of make the screen less, jarring. And to be honest with you, like the way I have my phone right now, because it's such a pain to me, I like things to be simple. So even though I've downloaded these third-party apps to make my screen look nicer and to not have the grid, I don't do it. But if it's going to be on the phone as a native option and it works well and it's just part of your phone, bring it on, because this phone is not going to look like this jumbled mess that I have right now, which is a little, I have to say, in design world, I think it's chaotic. I think, I just gave up trying to make it look pretty, and I just have apps on here like, oh, right, I just downloaded the Jollibee app the other day. Does it need to be on my home screen? No, it needs to go be folded into the food folder. But do I want to do that? No, I'm just lazy until I get a new app on here. So if there's a way to do this more seamlessly, because iOS or Apple is giving it to me to be done in a way that I don't have to download third-party apps, then I probably am going to do it more, right? So I don't know. Call me lazy, because I could work at it and make this. And I've seen so many beautiful designs that people work really well at. I just don't want to do it. I don't got time. But I do want to change what this looks like.
Being lazy as much as being like, it works for me,
Right.
And, we all hate change in some capacity. I mean,
there's yours.
My home screen, up top is weather and my rings, Apple Watch stuff. And then everything else is like, clock, App Store, Slack, podcast app, Volvo. I have a Volvo.
I don't like all the widgets out there too. Some of the widgets that I'm like, I use this, that, and the other. I don't like them all. They make them look even uglier to me. My own opinion. Sorry.
I'm with you on that 100%. I mean, there have been widgets where I'm like, maybe I want this, and I'm like, nah. Actually, the app just does what I need.
Yeah. So if this new like iOS 18 that's going to blow our minds gives us the opportunity to be a little bit more I don't know, to make this not look so, to me, it is a cluster F. It really is. Like, I'm like, okay, it just doesn't, everybody has their own app colors. And again, like I actually see this Pinterest here. I downloaded an icon to change it because I was just testing. How do I do it? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay. So that's not the actual Pinterest app icon. I could do that for everything here and it looks pretty, give it a white background, blah, 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 blah. But that's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to download each icon.
It's like, I mean, I know this sounds sort of silly, but it's like going through your closet and being like, I know I have to get rid of some stuff and like upgrade, but like, I just don't want to do this right now.
Yeah.
It's like, you have to be in the mood. And if you are, great. And I think Apple offering options, great also. Mm-hmm. But, people fear change. We're set in our ways in many ways. I'm like, I will wear my my Nike Pegasus running shoes till I die. Thank you.
Well, and the reason why I feel like I can, I do have a Samsung phone, you guys, and there is a native area for themes, and you could download a Pokemon. It's embedded in the phone in the settings. So, like, if you wanted to change your whole theme, you don't have to go download a third party and then pay for it, or have ads. It's in here. I mean, there are more expensive themes, but you can customize your phone out the gate within using the actual system, of this phone, and not have to get a third party app. And it's really easy. It works. And then you're like, ooh, I can have, Pokemon design. I can have, just a beautiful, clean, everything is white, everything is blue, whatever you want. They've got a ton of designs that are already packed in that are thematic, and you can just go boop, and that changes the look. So I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I think there is a move. You know how like things are just, there's too much information. So sometimes people want to take that information off their devices. And that's what I think a move is, to be able to like change your grid, hopefully there's better widget designs, just everything. Like a whole upgrade could make it all the more nice
Yeah.
for your everyday living, and
Yeah.
use of the device.
A little refresh.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. One other rumor that we'll talk about before we wrap up episode 13 of Apple Vision Show is the idea that, as we've been talking about the iPhone Pro Max, I have one. I love it. It's a very large phone because I have little baby hands, but I love it. I every time someone else has a smaller phone, I'm like, oh, how do you see anything on there? I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that, I'm still trying to read small text because I've gotten old. But I love the Pro Max. But the Pro Max is rumored to be getting yet bigger, Eileen, going from 6.7 inches to 6.9. This is Tom's Guide passing along some leaked images from iPhones in the future. Consider this a rumor mill because, again, this is not something that Apple has announced in any official capacity. But you get enough people looking at leaked images and you start going, okay, well, what would that mean? I don't know why Apple would do this unless they are sunsetting the iPad mini. Hear me out. Hear me out.
So there we
everybody.
go. Maybe no iPad mini announcements. Okay.
Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But it's like, if you're going to further, make the, flagship iPhone, the big ass phone with all the stuff, yet bigger, and we're gonna go hard on, iPad Pro and iPad Air models next week. What's going on with the mini? Because you're now going to, again, Venn diagram of like people being like, well,
Yeah.
how do they differ? Why is the mini best? I know a lot of people love the mini, love the form factor, don't want a Pro, don't think that a big iPhone can replicate it. All good. But I wonder what Apple's doing here.
You know what? I think you're onto something. That kind of makes sense to me. As the phones get bigger, do you need the mini? So I've been stuck on this whole 8.3 versus 7.9 this entire show since I was like blown away. I am noticing too, I have the iPhone 15 Pro, not the Max. So I'm noticing that also to increase, right? 6.1 to 6.3. And I have the like automatic upgrade every year. So I'm like, yet again, got to change the case. I'm trying to stay with the same case that I've had since I received this last October, but it's starting to crack and everything. And I'm like, yeah, but if I just hold out, I'm going to have to change it anyway. So, but yeah, once again, I'm going to have to change the case, I don't know. I mean, I think you're onto something, Sarah. I'm kind of convinced. So let's see. Anybody want to bet us that there's no iPad minis in the announcement next week?
Who's got the over under? Because I have no, inside information, but I just, I have a feeling. So,
yeah,
if I'm wrong, we'll talk about that next week. Oh, sure. But But yeah, before we wrap up the show, Eileen, we did we did get a fun social comment about the design of our show, right?
Oh, well, I actually did this, Sarah. So
Oh, you did it. I
yes,
thought somebody
yes.
wrote it in.
No,
Okay.
I wish. And so this weekend, I've been doing something on our social. I started something where I'm like, hey, on Friday, maybe I'll post something about what we would do, what we would talk about the following Monday, and like let us know what you think. Get some
Cool.
feedback on
Yeah.
our socials. No one responded this week, but I got a lot of likes and views. But I
Okay.
also
Yeah,
mentioned
that's a
that you
start.
know, let's just start. Because I mentioned we were going to talk about iPads, and then I was talking about the event logo, because the event logo is all over the site, and there's different logos. If you go on apple.com, and you'll see it kind of change, and but there is one main logo. I personally thought weeks ago when Jason Howell was on our show, he said use ideogram, and I was like, okay, great. Well, what if I used it to create a show logo, or like see what it could envision our show logo to be? And when I saw the Apple event logo, I really thought it looked like some of the ones that I created on ideogram. Do we not agree, or do you? Can we show this? Doesn't this look okay? Especially the two. Sorry, everybody listening in audio, but there are some
Yeah.
logos that somewhat look like what Apple has on their homepage without the stylus. I know, but I'm like, hey,
I would
did
say
Apple use
for anybody looking at the feed, the hard right version, that
yeah.
feels like the Applest of Apple.
And I was like, did Apple use ideogram to make their logo? That's such a sorry, Apple.
The
But,
400 people who work at Apple in their,
in the design, going back
in
over
the
and
design
over.
department are like, we would like a word. But
They're like, mad
well,
at me for
and
saying
this is sort of a larger conversation of how much, as a very talented designer, you can use something to like get you, 25%, 30% of the way there, and then, still be your creative self type thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a stepping stone to the actual work that person is going to put blood, sweat, and tears and have endless revisions because no one in the executive world agrees. I know that pain, but anyway, it's like I just brought that up because I thought maybe it looked like the front page of there was some similarities. So anyway, I will be posting on Fridays on our socials and giving you guys a heads up on Instagram and TikTok. Maybe I'll throw it up on Threads. I don't know. We don't have a Twitter account, but I will keep you guys updated. Well, you guys know now that we will be talking about the iPad event next week, but maybe perhaps at least I will remind that we were going to record on a different day. So
Yes. And just a reminder, we are recording on May 7th. That is next Tuesday from this recording after Android Faithful, because we want to talk about all the stuff that was announced instead of talking about the stuff that might be announced. And that's what we did on this show. But just a reminder, feedback at applevisionshow.com is where you can send feedback for anything that we talk about. We thank you in advance. As Eileen mentioned, we're on Instagram and TikTok. But I think tomorrow, next week is going to be a fun show, Eileen.
yes, I cannot wait. I will be using my iPad to take notes about the event that I'm just gonna embody the whole. I'm just gonna bring it all. So over under, what do you think? You think I'm going to want to buy the new iPad, Sarah, or you think I'm going to be happy with what I have?
I'm going to want to buy the new iPad, but I think you may as well. I don't know.
Okay, we'll see. Cannot wait. But thank you all for joining us this week.
Thank you all for joining us. Reminder, we are Apple Vision Show. Applevisionshow.com is where you can subscribe to the show if you found us haphazardly or by design. And feedback at Apple Vision Show is where you can give us feedback. My cat is going totally bonkers right now, so
Okay.
we're gonna go ahead
Time to
and
go.
say sayonara, but see you next week again, Tuesday, May 7th. A little bit later for the live folks than usual, but it'll be fun.
It'll be worth it. Oh,
What is up with you?
Ralphie's been like needing your attention or something. Yeah. What's going on?
Ralphie usually sleeps from like 12 to 5.
Oh,
Lately, he's been like, "Ooh, are you on?
hey.
Are you live? I would like to be part of this."
Wow. Well, welcome to the show, Ralphie. What do you got? You like these iPads? Are you iPad or phone or Pro?
He says I'm more of an iPad mini cat myself.
Oh, but your mom there thinks it's a goner. So
I think it
just
might be. I don't know. What are you gonna do? He says maybe a Surface Pro. That would be fine.
what? Where are you going? Where are you going, Ralphie? Ralphie's like, I
He's
know all
weird.
these tech things. Ralphie's like, I know it. All
Quick reminder for the
right.
people that are watching, during the Apple announcement, we will be live in the DTNS Discord.
There you go.
So join us there. Watch as we take notes and tell us what excites you about it, because we will actually use the audience engagement during the stream in the Discord to kind of balance what we think. I say we, but it's Tom and Sarah. What they'll spend more time talking about, because the audience during the event is letting them know what they're excited about. So.
And Sarah will be all prepped and ready to go for our show later in the evening.
It'll be like
I
the
didn't
third
tell
time
anybody.
she's talked about it.
It would be, right? Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I was going to leave the show notes kind of blank slate. I am until after the show. And just for anybody else, I actually may have jury duty, which is why we also scheduled it later in the evening. Not for nobody in the show needs to know.
We're just going to,
There's a lot of stuff.
see how life hands us lemons.
Yeah. I should
and perhaps lemonade.
I should be okay for a 6:30 start. That shouldn't be a problem. But I was like, ooh, what if I get called in? I have to call in every day, or maybe I have to show up and try and tell them why I shouldn't be on the jury. But thankfully, it's not too far from my house, and so I don't have to. It's not going to be like terrible to. Anyway, that time on Tuesday is pretty. I'm not worried about it, because usually courts, they're like, see you later at 5:00. Like, great, bye. 4:00, or they end even earlier, like 3, right? Like, it's just so, who knows? Or they they want to be like, okay, today is just the day where we're just saying hello and take roll call, but tomorrow will be the all day, and the all day is what, up until 2 sometimes, until you're in trial. Then that's different. Then that's like.
But enjoy your $14.
If I get it, I don't know. I have to start I call on Friday night to see if I go in on Monday, and then we'll see from there. I hate that.
I've done that.
$14 to buy you a drink in LA, right? Buy you a soda at the courthouse.
Pretty much, yeah. Some like coffees cost that much. Seriously.
I had dinner and a drink with a friend who was in town last week, and she prefaced this with like, hey, let's have dinner at my hotel. It's on the company. And I was like, I'll be there.
Yeah.
And, so it was like, it was fancy, good food, whatever. I had a margarita, and I don't know, didn't look at the tab because wasn't paying. But afterwards, I looked it up on the internet, and I'm like, $22 for a margarita. Oh. Now,
Top
it was
shelf
a good margarita.
Okay,
it was a good margarita.
Yeah.
Like it was like a fancy margarita where they did, but I'm like, I don't want anything for $22. No,
I mean, you know how much you could
thank
get
you.
like a taco truck for that, you know, or like,
Or just like,
or
I don't
like,
know, like buy the fixings and do it at home if you really want. Like
yeah, then you'd have it forever.
$22 should feed a family. My goodness. Oh,
3
I
margaritas
was,
and you could buy all the supplies you needed to make a gallon of margaritas.
oh my gosh,
yes.
serious.
I know. But it was like, man, it's like a fancy place. And I'm like, I get that. But my God. I mean, imagine if I came here like just being like, oh, cool new place that was recommended to me. Oh, the margaritas are $22. Like that's insane.
I,
No,
yeah,
they should be
prices
like
are too much.
maybe like $7.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say 10, but you're like, no,
Maybe 10, maybe 10.
because
Or,
yeah, 'cause they-
if it's above that, then like again, you got the fixins. You can,
Yeah.
make your own margaret.
yeah.
Or
I
just
mean, I was
drink
even
water.
just at the grocery store yesterday, and I was shocked at some of the prices. Again, I was like, and not
Yeah.
that I haven't been grocery shopping, but I was like, oh, maybe I'll get some prosciutto. Which, I don't need that. Okay, I can just.
My
I
daughter
wanted
went to
some
a-
of that stuff, but I was like, it's like $12 for that whole. For anyway.
My daughter went to a show the other night and she was like, yeah, the beers were only $8. And I was like,
Only.
Yeah.
$8.
Remember when they were like $1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On like, Fun Monday or whatever. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Beef. I was like, a pound of beef was like almost $10. I was like, what? Like, shouldn't it be
Yeah.
like $4.99? And then, but no, it was like $7.99 was the cheapest. This woman was like looking at the ground beef prices with me, and I just picked it up because I needed to get some for Sawyer. It's, old man picky.
No.
And she looked at me, she's like, is that one okay? I'm like, I think so. Cause I think she was thinking it's the cheapest one. It can't be that good. I'm like, but I mean, $7.99 versus the $9.99. I was like, it's fine. So, but it's still a lot because I'm used to like $5 prices for a pound, and I'm like, wait, we're almost doubled.
Well, and that's where, the Trader Joe's and the Whole Foods and the Sprouts, because I have a Sprouts near me, which I love, like all of their like, their own brand, they're like, it's $10 for spaghetti sauce or $4.99 for ours. Where I'm like, well, I'll take yours.
Yeah. Why would I?
But
yeah,
like you get, then you get into like the habit of like, well, I just, the brand of the establishment like is like saving me money, but like, is that really what you want? It gets weird.
I found recently found a hack for being up here in Alaska. We do most of my grocery shopping at Walmart because it's right down the street. And when I go to Walmart online, I get the CONUS prices online. So I order my food online. And I'm saving about 15 to 20%.
But what are those prices?
Well, the prices like the average price in the U.S. versus the Alaska price.
Oh. Huh.
So it'd be like you getting the Arizona prices instead of the California prices.
Okay.
So I saved like 15-20% on a lot of things, especially groceries.
The non-sales tax
Well, that
version of it type thing.
we don't have sales tax in Alaska either, so.
Man.
Or income
See, I
tax.
know. I'm like, what? I mean, I love the state of California and I'm born here, but sometimes I'm like, why am I doing this?
Oh, totally.
Should I?
Yeah.
I mean, family. Yes, I have family here, so that's important. But, it's a lot cheaper elsewhere. Anyway.
I mean, family, weather, food.
Weather, yes.
I mean, so many reasons
things.
to live where Eileen and I live. Also, many reasons to save money elsewhere.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, wait a second. You don't pay any income tax? tax?
I know it's such a foreign thing for me.
Because I
Can you imagine
did
it?
in
Oh,
a big way this year.
We don't have a state sales tax or a state income tax, but my area has a borough tax, which is like a county tax of 2%, but it maxes at $10 per purchase. So
I do need to live in a place that is H Mart accessible, though. Like if I have to drive an hour, fine.
Oh my God.
But
H
you know,
Mart is the best thing that
you
I
love it, right?
have. I
So good.
love it. Not even like, even if I'm like not going for like, something that is, hard to find in another, like a Ralph's or a Vaughn's or, whatever. It just like, they have like a big thing of, frozen shrimp.
Yeah,
It's like half price
yeah,
where I would get it somewhere else.
yeah.
And just
Yeah.
sort of like, kimchi, great, very cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, if I'm going to get it
need this
anyway, then I like H Mart.
Yeah.
that's where I get my Japanese curry because you can't get it.
Oh, so
you can't get the
good.
stuff
Okay.
anywhere else. Yeah, Japanese curry
Okay.
and the grape drink that has little grapes in the grape juice.
Oh,
I don't even know what
look
it's
at
called.
you.
I called it the
I don't know about all that. Kind of
Call it
like
the
boba
teddy bird.
grape.
Yeah, except it's not boba; it's grapes.
It's actually
Well,
grapes.
I know, but like still like
grape.
Yeah.
you're like, there's
Yeah,
yeah.
it's delicious. It's so good.
Yeah.
Used to drink it all the time in
mean-
Korea,
Shout out to H Mart. I love
I
it.
mean, yeah. I was just
and they
there
have the best sauces too.
last
Yep.
weekend. Yeah. Oh, so many good sauce. So many good like frozen foods that you just heat up and it's like amazing. Like I have this like
Oh, the
seafood
gyozas
pancakes.
that I
Oh,
got
so
there.
good.
Like you can get them somewhere else, but like they're so expensive and like not as good.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
get a
there's
couple of
just-
those. Like that could feed you a family for a week.
Oh, one
And
I actually had some last
delicious.
night. I had some
Really?
last night. Some
Yeah.
gyoza
Oh,
with
love 'em.
seafood pancakes that was frozen from H Mart. So you just kind of lightly pan fry, and then I had some gyoza dinner. Thank you. I was
There
done.
you go. Yeah.
So good.
Thank you.
They're so huge to the gyoza, so I only had like 3, but like we get a little much if you make them all. But it was perfect. I just put them all in my iron skillet, fry them all together.
I put them in my June
Done.
oven. Same.
Yeah. They're like-
The June oven is like, are you doing some, it never says like gyoza. It's like, is it a croissant? I'm like, no.
Oh no.
Oh, is it like a egg roll? I'm like, close enough. Yeah.
Close enough.
Cook it like an
take
egg
it.
roll.
Oh, but anyway.
I will say that H Mart is exactly as Americanized as I need it because I can go to the local Asian Mart here and I won't be able to find anything because it's not white guy friendly. But I can go to H Mart and find all the stuff that I need because it's got the appropriate labels and it's sorted in a way that I understand.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha.
Whereas
yeah.
the Asian Mart down in Anchorage
you'd be
is
using
actually
Google
sorted
Translate.
like it is. Yeah, it's sorted the way it is in Korea. You know,
Yeah.
you go in the Korean Mart and they organize their foods differently. We go to H Mart and it's authentic Asian food sorted the way Americans sort our food, so I can find stuff easier.
They know what they needed to do. They're
Yeah.
like, we want to, everybody should come to H Mart, but you're going to feel like it's regular American, but it's not.
They understood the assignment. Yep, just
They
take my
did.
money. Give me the good foods and take all the monies.
Well, and the prices are good too. So
H Mart. Truly. I mean, it's not even like, oh, it's cheaper. You just get things that you
Yeah.
can't get elsewhere unless you try
it's-
really hard.
right. And it's tasty. And I actually really like their
Very
cuts
tasty.
of meat.
Yeah.
Like whether it's frozen or, on the shelf, like their cuts of like, especially the seafood is so like, they do it for you right there. It's so good. And then they have lots of, side dishes that are already pre-prepared. But then, if you're shopping for tea, so many great like options for tea that you wouldn't get, at like Ralph's or whatever, just because it's, it's
Yeah.
American versus Asian. But noodle choices blows everyone out of the water. Like I actually
Beautiful.
went to Ralph's yesterday and I was looking for what's called seaweed flakes, but it's like already seasoned and whatever. It's a nice little packet, and there is a small Asian section in Ralph's, and I just was like maybe just in case they started. No. It's just like
I also think, I mean, big chains such as Ralph's, the
Mhm.
one that is closest to me, which is, Koreatown adjacent, has like quite a few, big
Okay.
aisles dedicated
Yeah.
to, Asian, Latin American,
Yeah.
and even Mediterranean, like to the point where I'm like, this is a really good Ralph's. Because normally I'm like, I have to like get like detergent
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
apple. I don't know. Like it's like not necessarily my store, but I think they tend to figure out who the clientele is and market to them.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
so next time you're in my hood, Eileen, go to the Ralph's down at San Vicente Crossing, and
Okay.
it's pretty good Asian section.
Oh, okay.
Not H Mart, but
No.
you can get some good stuff.
Kroger's
Well-
out in other parts of the country. Yes.
So
Kroger's.
Kroger's is what Ralph's supplies.
Yeah.
Not-
Oh,
maybe not 100%, but like
Right.
if you go to
I did
Ralph's
notice
and get
that.
like salad dressing or it's
It'd be
Kroger
Kroger
brand.
Yep.
So yeah.
I
'Cause we
think
only
I
we
bought
only
the
have, like,
Kroger
three-
brand for cherry tomatoes. Yes.
We only have
3
like
minutes?
three major supermarkets in the U.S.
Oh.
It's Kroger, Albertsons, and there's another one that I can't remember. But like up here, we have Safeway and Fred Meyer, and Fred Meyer's Kroger.
We have
and
Safeway.
is
No, we don't have
Albertsons.
Safeway here. That's Bay Area.
We don't have Safeway, but we have Vons, and Vons and Safeway are the same.
Yep.
And they're both, we did this on a GDI. They are both owned by Albertsons. Yes.
Which is where the big controversy between
yes.
Kroger buying Albertsons is, with the
Yeah.
VCs of Albertsons doing the same thing they did to Toys R Us. Different VCs, same effect. So
Well, I'll tell you, I love a good Vons. Boy, do I love a good Vons.
just
And it's
any
not
grocery
even
store,
like
really,
a
if it's a good
cool
one.
store. It's what I want. I love Vons.
yeah.
That's my spot with a
All right.
little Sprouts peppered in.
Well,
And
we just
with
got a
that-
whole like Kroger company has all of these.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Kroger, Ralph's, Dillon's, Super
Smith,
Fries,
King
QFC.
Supers. What's that?
Wow.
Fries. Probably not Fries Electronics.
It's not,
QFC,
but it's
City
big in,
Market.
Dave, I remember
It's the
picking
same
Dave.
areas.
Pay less. Yeah. Bakers.
And Fred
Shush,
Meyer.
Ralphie.
Ralphie is like on fire today.
I mean,
He has. Oh, he wants to weigh in on the Kroger situation. I'm sure.
he
right?
says,
Yeah.
I'm a Vaughn's kitty. Just so you know.
like he literally is quiet now that he's at the mic. He's like, yeah, I said it all.
Tell him.
Yep.
What do you want to tell
Or you
him?
just want us to end this?
Ralphie says,
he's also like,
I
can you
think
just
the
end?
chicken noodle soup at Vaughn's is very good. Okay, bye.
Nick with the C says, by the way, the house is on fire.
I wouldn't know. Been in the office for
Ralphie
about 9 hours now today.
Otis is like, what? What are you talking about?
Otis is like, I'm sleeping. I don't want to get involved. All right. Well, on that note,
Yes.
let's go ahead and
Almost
say
finished.
goodbye.
Just
Bid
a
our
little bit
farewells.
left of this. Farewell, everybody. Here's where I am. I rationed.
I'm like, I think I'm done.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.